Hello guys, this is Raymond from One Fish, Two Fish, working from home today. I have been daydreaming about having a nano globe bowl for quite some time. So what we have here for you today is a nice bowl from one of those wholesale furniture stores here in Dartmouth. I picked it up several years ago. In the base of the bowl, I have some Marine Pure BioSpheres. On top of that, I have a package of Tropica AquaSoil. I decided to go with a powder because it is a smaller granule, which is more beneficial for the roots for plants such as storage and repens and some other grasses such as Helianthium. I have my favorite Aquascaping Tools by Aquavitro. I have the tweezers and my double curved scissors and just a small pair of shears. I picked up some goby stone. It took me about a month to pick out these pieces. Trying them out, different designs, different layouts. This is the one I settled on. So what I'm going to do is get to work and clean up the 1-2 grow cups. I'll lay them out and then we'll start doing some transplanting. Boom, shakalaka boom boom, boom, shakalaka boom, boom, shakalaka boom boom, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, the camera's still going. So everyone heard my boom, shakalaka boom boom. We are going to open up this package right here, guys. This is one of my favorite grasses. 1-2 Grow by Tropica. Pest and snail free. This is their only product that they guarantee that is pest and snail free. Grown in vitro. It is usually, can you see the bottom? We got a gel in there full of nutrients and growing medium. Sometimes you won't find a gel, but you will find a liquid. So what we're going to do is we're going to check this out. Tropica lets us know it's going to grow 15 centimeters tall in 30 days. Did you guys see that? Did you see how there's like a little puff of air? Let me show you something. These cups have a perforation inside. When you come to the store or any other retailer and they have these cups, if there's a little bit of a dome and there's not much give, it's building up some gases. Look inside, look for mold, turn it over, look for nice clear gel, strong roots, then you know you got a good cup. All right, So with the Helianthium Quadrupostasus, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but you know, there are worse things that I could be mispronouncing than a Latin scientific plant name. There's that medium right there. Just check that out. You'll notice that the plant grows like a rosette, like a cinnamon bun even. I like to untangle it. There we go. See how you have those runners? The stolons will grow from the mother plant, which is in the middle. Some people will plant the whole darn thing together. Some people will snip them. I've tried it both ways. I have aggressive munchers in my aquarium. My gouramis like going right down in there. They snip away at the tender leaves. They'll let them float, and then they'll munch on them. $13 salad down the drain. However, this plant is going into my little bowl this time, so I have no worries. So if you bring this home, you could probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants for $13. That's a really good deal. When you think about what you get is a disease and pest-free plant, a healthy plant. Look at the colors on that, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this right in the middle. One plant. Sometimes what I like to do when I'm planting this grass is bunch those two babies together. One plant. I've tried planting it as two, and I find that I just don't get enough depth when I push it in. I just like that as an accent. Got a nice tall piece, a short piece, plant it underneath. Take your tweezers, push that in. So I'm gonna get busy and wash some of these up. That is one step I did not show you guys, is you just give this a rinse under the sink. I didn't want to show you guys because I just think running water on camera is just a little noisy. And that's all it takes. I usually lay out all my plants on a tray. Nice and organized, easy to grab. All right, I will see you guys at the next stage of this video. So what we have here is we have 17 pieces. I like organizing my plants from biggest, medium, smallest, and then the tiny ones. I like using the tiny ones as accents. Just those ones to give a little bit of a pop to an area near a piece of driftwood, or the corners and edges of rocks gives it more of a natural look. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna plant some of these up. Before we plant them, what we need to do is grab your mister bottle, and we're gonna mist our soil. We're not gonna pour water into the bowl, but we are going to just moisten the soil so it allows the plants to really attach themselves to the rock. All right, so I have a friend here who's helping me with the camera. He wants to stay anonymous, so we'll just call him my friend. My friend has 147 houseplants. So it's a little bit of a competition between us of who can get the weirdest, fanciest looking plant. Right now he has 2 carnivore plants that eat insects. One is the Venus flytrap, and I think the other one's called the pitcher plant. We'll just go with that. We should be getting in some tiger lotus red and green plants at One Fish, Two Fish. They're just on back order. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that to show up into the shop. What we have here is a 1-2 grow cup. The name is called Lilliopsis Braziliansis. That's what it sounds like on Google Translate and Google Pronounce. So that's what we're going to go with today. If you want a common name, one of the most common names is called mini sword, a Brazilian mini sword, a great carpeting plant. This plant will grow 15 centimeters wide in 30 days. That is a lot of value to your aquarium. So again, you have your liquid media and you have a nice little packet of grass. I'm going to give this a good rinse and I will cut it into probably quarters. We'll start planting that in there, guys. All right, so I tried putting 2 Lilliopsis Braziliansis or the mini sword in the foreground. I will admit it's not my favorite plant to transplant. I just find grasses and myself just don't get along. I find I do really well with stem plants that have more of a stem base, like Sturgeon repens. There's not much variance really between the plant and the root. So sometimes it gets a little odd when you're trying to figure out what are you supposed to do with this. Sometimes it's trial by error. Tropica does put out some really great videos of specific plants and how to plant them in there. But honestly, sometimes it's just trial and error. I've planted this in my home tank and it did quite well for about 2 months. And I had a couple of German blue rams who just wanted to clean house and make a home for their new spawn. So they start tearing stuff up. I mean, that's fine and all. It's not like I'm coming home to a dog shredding the toilet paper roll or eating my favorite throw pillow. So if the least of my worries is an angelfish or a German blue ram ripping up my plants, I guess it could be worse, right guys? I'm not going to be using CO2 or any filtration with this bowl. I'm really going to rely on my biological filtration at the bottom of this, which has approximately 8 to 10 Marine Pure balls. These balls hold a lot of bacteria, and I'm really hoping that with those balls underneath the substrate, it's going to provide some circulation, really get the nitrifying bacteria growing. I haven't decided if I will put a fish in this. And of course, if I did put a fish in, it's only going to be a betta. I am a strong proponent of planting densely from the start. It's really hard to go in there after the fact when you already have things that are planted and try to wiggle in one more cup. Because we all know it's always one more fish or one new plant. And by all means, get yourself one more plant. You can never have too many plants. Over some period of time, you're going to notice of what plants do really well in your aquarium and what ones don't. You know, some people think it's a waste of money, but you just don't know what's going to work. I mean, I certainly know what works in my aquarium, and I'm still learning. An interesting fact that I noticed about my planted aquarium, which is 75 gallons, and with the standard 80% of your substrate is covered with plants, you have a heavily planted aquarium, is it appears that my Asian fish, which are only my gouramis, are going after my Asian plants. And my South American fish, rams, angelfish, my tetras, and let's be fair, tetras don't do much. They're leaving my plants alone. But my rams and my angelfish really go after my plants. Some people say I don't feed them enough vegetables in their diet. But at the end of the day, that's what fish do. Fish do fish things. If your fish are ripping out your plants, that's just part of nature. What are you supposed to do, muzzle them? Like, let's be real about this, guys. So if you do find yourself losing plants, gives you another reason to go to your local fish store, like One Fish, Two Fish, and stock up. And you know, I have 1 extra cup of Lilliopsis Braziliansis. Let's just call it mini sword, guys. Really, you guys are gonna come into the shop and be like, oh, there's that plant guy. He can't pronounce that word. If you come up to me and you pronounce that word, I'll give you 50 cents off a plant just to teach me a new pronunciation. Because God, it's one of those things. I took Latin in grade 12 as a bird course just to get a good grade. Did I get a good grade? Not really. I think I skipped that class more than anything because it came after religious studies and I just skipped out and went to lunch. Oh, and just for the record, I don't know if I'm allowed to give you 50 cents off, but you know, you can be a nice person, come up to me and tell me I'm pronouncing it wrong and we can have a good chuckle over it. So with this bowl, because I want to have 3 zones, the reason I'm doing it layered is I really want to add some depth to this bowl. I have a tall rock, a big rock, and a large rock in the front, creating a grass pasture into the tall Helianthium. Where are we going? Helianthium? Sure, we'll go with that. The grasses growing in the middle. And then in the back, my storage and repens, my favorite plant ever, will be growing there. And they can get up to 5 centimeters tall, and it's just a gorgeous looking plant. There's that gorgeous word. Haven't said that in a while. So guys, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. But what I need you to do is you need to watch the whole video. And if you guys can give it a like and a share on YouTube to your Facebook page or Instagram page. I don't know if you can share on Snapchat. That's really not my social media platform. But if you guys can share this with your friends and subscribe to the One Fish, Two Fish channel. We are going to be posting, I think it was 2 to 3 videos a week. You know, a plant video, a fish video, and a saltwater fish video. And that way we can keep in contact with you guys of what's going on. The piece of resistance is one of my favorite carpeting plants. This plant is a really good grower, 20 centimeters wide in 30 days. But the great thing about it is when this grows approximately 120 days in, you can go into, I'm gonna grab this one. Go into your aquarium, and you can snip it. Snip your plant, take off the bottom 2 leaves, and now you can transplant that top in, and you can get a really dense and lush carpet. This plant does really well by propagating. I propagated it in my aquarium and I got roots in about 5 days. So that's really successful. It's a very hardy plant as well. I have no complaints about it. Any beginner that comes into the shop, I will ask them what they want to do with their aquarium. Do you want to just sit back and relax, or do you actually want to work with it? If you don't want to work and you don't want to trim, the storage and repens is one of those great little plants that you can just leave and forget about it. All right, so I'm going to go in and clean up a couple of cups of this, and we'll get planting on this, guys.